In today's episode of Manabonded, Josh tells you what to do if you ever find your grandmother's fruitcake recipe. Take a look at it, rifle through it, give him some suggestions, and then throw it in the fire. Zack talks about his favorite pastime,
I
So good.
love belching.
and Nate gives us an update on his immortal snail.
He's not actually getting anywhere because, whatever he has to get around, it's not working.
Hello everyone and welcome to Manabonded, the Magic the Gathering advice show that's always on time. I'm Josh, your host, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Nate and Zack. Say hey guys.
Hey, guys. I used to not be on time, but I've gotten a lot better at it. I'm going to blame that on undiagnosed ADHD.
I'd like to let everyone know that Josh was indeed late by quite some margin. So
Okay.
just wanted to point that out.
How do I
for the listeners?
How do I
Sorry,
make 2
that was
points in
just
my
a
defense?
bus running over Josh as he just got
Yeah,
thrown under by Zack.
Yeah. I'd like to make 2 points in my defense. Point number one is I actually released last week's episode early to the public, if you noticed. That was definitely not an accident because I pushed the wrong button when I was uploading to RSS. Definitely not the reason. It was because I was feeling generous and wanted to get it out to you early.
Can't be late if you're early.
The second point I would
Look at that.
like to make is Ted Lasso's really good, and we were on a long episode, and I needed to finish it.
Ted Lasso is really good. I love it.
I do need to watch that show. I have seen a lot of clips, and from everything I've seen about it, I'm like, I will love this show when I eventually watch it.
Big
Zach,
fan of Ted Lasso.
for reference,
To start, wait. First question. What's Ted Lasso's commander colors?
he's white green.
Yeah, I think he's white green.
Yeah.
He has anything that resembles a soccer ball.
Coach Beard is
Or-
Yeah.
Coach Beard is red.
Oh, for sure.
He's just red.
Yep.
Yeah, just mono red.
So for reference, Zach, we were on the episode Beard's Night Out.
Ah, that's a good one.
Holy cow, that was a trip and a half, dude. Wild episode.
I highly recommend Ted Lasso. Very fun watch.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Very
it's
fun
been
watch.
so fun. It's
Good wholesome.
we talked to my in-laws because they have Apple TV, and so far Apple TV is one of those few streaming services that doesn't care how many houses are listening or watching. So you can watch even if you're not the primary house or whatever, Netflix. So I was like, we
Literally.
need to get Apple TV figured out because eventually, in like 4 more years, all of the Brandon Sanderson stuff is going there. So we have to have it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in the meantime, I really want to watch Ted Lasso and Murderbot, and both of those are on Apple TV.
Yeah, you are being very optimistic there with 4 years for Mistborn coming out, good sir.
His screenplay's almost done. How long's it got?
Sure. Screenplays.
How long does filming take? Let's be real.
Screenplay's almost done. We
Yeah.
haven't got announced a director or
Don't worry about it.
producer
Don't
or
worry
any of
about
that
it.
stuff. Although we do have a bunch of people that have started campaigning to play Vin. I've mostly seen them on TikToks. They are all ladies that do look like Vin. But it is pretty fun to see people like, hey, this character means so much to me, and I do fit the role. I do fit the look. So I want to try and get this role. And more power to you for chasing after your dreams.
Yeah, man, go for it. I mean, tons of stuff happens nowadays with like fan projects and just casting from social media. I don't know. I think at least one of you has heard about this, but do you know of the TikTok Epic the Musical?
Absolutely love
Yeah,
Epic
I'm
the
obsessed
musical.
with it.
Okay. So yeah, I figured.
It's Hamilton level of my my playlist.
Let's be honest. It's better
Easily
than
above Hamilton for me.
Yes.
Easily
It's
better.
good.
My wife and I
They're both
are.
phenomenal.
My wife put me onto a lot of new musicals that I didn't know about. But when we listened to Epic, I was like, yeah, this is actually pretty good. It's really interesting how you can really hear him grow as like a songwriter and producer over the series, and just hear him sort of get better and better. And a lot of the casting for that was done over just TikTok, right? Like you just put out a
Yeah.
call and be like, hey, casting for this role, I want you to sing this song, and then I will reach out to you. And he
then
just,
like the people can kind of vote on who's
yeah,
the
yeah,
best.
and he just kind of put together the crew like that, and it was really cool.
I
It came
will be
out
a little hipster
fantastic.
here. I was in on Epic the Musical when we were back in the Cyclops saga.
Nice, nice.
Whoa,
And that
whoa,
had just
whoa.
come out, and I was
Look at
listening
that.
to it.
That is
Still
so
one of my
cool.
favorite songs is the Cyclops one where they've got the 500 lives to save, and then it switches to the 500 lives to take.
Yes,
So I've seen a number of
Yeah.
that's so
I've seen a number
good.
of edits where they overlay both of them at the same time, and it's just so good.
Yeah,
I
So
like
good.
love belching just a man in the shower.
You
It's
mean
just
belting?
a vibe. It's a vibe.
Belting, right.
Belching. I do it with my burps. I burp sing it. It's actually quite impressive.
We will
He's
open
got-
up a
It will never be
Patreon for
reported.
everybody who wants to hear it.
No,
got
I think it'll stay secret. You know,
Come
For
on,
my own
Zach.
personal
$100
safety.
patron
When-
tier.
when-
$100 patron tier. Come on.
Once that's released in the wild, I will never not be noticed in public anymore. You know, it's going to be too much. It's too much for
That's
me.
true.
You know?
That's true. That's true. No, a musical that my wife showed me that I hadn't heard of, but now I'm like, I love it. It's so good, but I can't listen to it a lot because it's so sad. It's a musical called The Clockmaker's Daughter. It's
Sounds familiar.
yeah, it's a really good musical that takes place in like early 1900s, like 1910-ish, or maybe like late 1800s Ireland. And it is a story of a guy who is a clockmaker, and his wife passes away, and he's sad about it, but he has a daughter, and he loves his daughter. But his daughter passes away at like the age of 5, right? Just gets sick and dies at such a young age. And in his like distress and his grief, he ends up creating an automata, like a clockwork human that is meant to be what his daughter would have looked like if she could have grown to be a woman. So it's his daughter basically sort of, but as a clockwork person made to look, like 1819-ish. He just creates it hoping it'll just move around and remind him of her, but then the clockwork becomes sentient and begins to learn. It like not only repeats what he's saying, but then starts to learn and comes up with the concept of self. Then you kind of do a little bit of a time skip, and it's its full own like being. It's its own person now. It has developed a love for sewing, for books and stories, and it becomes a little bit of a Disney Tangled story where Constance, the clockwork automata, is sneaking out of her home to go into the village about a half mile, maybe a mile away, and is secretly sewing dresses for the women out there, which are just like super incredible. But the story is really good. It focuses a lot on like what makes you a person, what makes you a human, validating feelings of grief and this loss that this father is trying to deal with and the ways that he deals with his grief. I will say eventually the father begrudgingly does let her out and about into the public eye. And so it's very interesting, and it's got some very heartbreaking songs to it. But I just think it would be such, like, I'd love to see it as a full movie, I think there's a lot that could be done with the story of, like, a parent's grief and the pain of, like, losing a child and all that stuff. So yeah, heavy hitter for y'all.
Nice.
Just a bit, yeah.
I mean, we got a kind of story kind of like that as a little sprinkling in The Nightmare Before Christmas.
A little bit, yeah.
Because that reminded me a lot of Sally in the start of Nightmare Before Christmas, where she has to sneak out in order to go and have some freedom.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a little like that, except when Constance sews, it's not sewing herself.
Yeah, it's not reattaching body parts.
Yeah, no, it's a really pretty musical, and I'll have to show you guys some of the fun songs for it.
Do you love me some
Yeah.
musical?
Anyway.
Dr. Horrible Sing Along blog.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
Dr.
one's
Horrible
great.
Sing Along blog is truly one of those pieces that will live in my head forever. Ugh, if you haven't listened to it, please do. It was written at a time in the middle of the 2008 crisis where a lot of actors weren't getting paid and there was like a writer's strike on top of everything. And well, hang on, let me check that timeline.
If you're on the Nathan Fillion hype train with The Rookie right now,
Yeah, it was
to watch
2008.
You
Okay.
have to watch it.
I was right. Anyway, so yeah, it's really funny, guys. It's Neil Patrick Harris.
Cast of actors. Yeah.
Neil Patrick Harris plays a supervillain called Dr. Horrible, who falls in love with a woman, and she ends up falling in love with Nathan Fillion, who plays Captain Hammer, this universe's equivalent of some like machismo Superman type, right? It's really funny and really fun, and it has some good songs.
Yeah.
Very good songs. Very good songs.
A little bit of a bummer ending, but what a musical doesn't have a bummer ending?
Yeah, and it's very short too. It's like 45 minutes or something tops.
Yeah.
They made it on a very small budget, but it worked and it was very fun. So we got some stuff coming up. Salt City 3 is coming up for everybody who's in the Utah area, the Salt Lake area. We've got a cEDH tournament, and we are all going. I think we've all officially bought our tickets now, right? Right.
I got mine.
Okay, we're good.
We are set up and ready to go.
Two of our friends from Phoenix Fire Games will also be joining us. I hope they've bought their tickets by now, but they'll be coming down to visit with me, and then we'll all head up as a big old group the next day. But yeah, it'll be fun.
Let's put it this way. They are the reason why we have all bought our tickets, because one of them was like, hey, what's the link to this thing so I can buy my ticket? And then the other one's like, yeah, that's a good point. Can I get that link? So,
yep.
Yeah, they're the reasons why I pushed for it when I did.
It's a good idea.
That's true.
So,
here at Manabonded, we're the only podcast that's going to bring our own hype crew.
Up until our hype crew is already there, we got to bring our own, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I think I know the answer for Zack, but I want to talk a little bit about what decks we plan to bring to this tournament and kind of why we're picking it.
Okay.
Zack?
I'll go last to keep the surprise.
Okay. Like there's a surprise. I don't know. I feel like it's less surprising my choice than your choice.
Are you bringing Tyam?
Obviously. I have to.
Man, should I be the one that goes last?
Maybe.
Yeah, probably. Probably gonna bring Kinnan. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It's a pretty strong deck. I'm gonna double check my list, make sure everything's looking good, feeling good. I don't really know the Salt Lake meta too well.
No, not at all.
So it'll be a bit of a blind meta going in, but nothing wrong with that. I expect to see Atalis as usual, and I'm hoping it's more mid range, but I'm not sure what it is down there.
What why Kinnan, other than like its place in the meta? Do you have like a personal reason why you enjoy like playing Kinnan and why you plan on bringing Kinnan?
He's just a cute little goober. He collects little pets and they help him in his life.
Little?
Double mana.
Yeah, little?
Yeah. Little.
just some little guys.
Some little guys. I love that he doubles mana. It feels absolutely unfair, and it feels like I'm playing a completely different game than everyone else at the table. Because I'm like, I'm 7 mana, turn 2. Thank you.
Yeah, I know.
And it's a good feeling. And then you play another deck, and it just feels so terrible being
And slow.
so slow with mana.
Yep.
Yeah, I love him. He's such a fun deck to play, and it's always have a nice backup plan of just if you have mana, you can just flip Kinnan. Even if it's not necessarily your main goal, it's still a nice backup.
For sure. Nate, what's your plan? Who are you bringing and why?
So I am kind of going between two. There's a pretty good chance I'll be bringing my good old tried and true Najila, the Blade Blossom. I love her because I love the card ever since she got spoiled in Battle Bond. I got my copy that I have because a friend of the show, Tristan, was like, hey, there's a 6 deals page. There's a foil Najila listed. Jump on it. And so I got on there, got an original foil for, I think it was like $50 at the time. I don't know if she's gone up or down, but at the time that was a good deal.
And Battle Bond foils are like a weirdly high amount, right?
They are. They like for a long time, the Battle Bond foil Beast Within was like $12 when all the other ones were $1.50. I didn't know why. It's weird.
Okay.
I think that's a thing with those weird side sets. because what's the other one? Conspiracy.
I was gonna
Conspiracy
say
foils were also
conspiracy, yeah.
ridiculously expensive. But
Yeah.
to not go too off track, I'm either gonna bring her because I've got a lot of play on her, or I might be bringing a spicy rogue deck. I've talked about on the show before, Zelix, because we are looking like a pretty creature heavy cEDH meta kind of thing, and Zelix
Yeah.
likes eating them dudes to get his own little buddies.
Yeah, no, between, Rog Thras and Kinnins and Sisseys, there's a lot of like creature heavy decks that are in the meta right now that could be good for Zelix, and there is a legitimate brewer's advantage if you can build the right deck that can attack the meta in just the right way and play your politics right. You can end up doing really well at a tournament.
For sure. Josh, what are you bringing?
Oh, please. I'm bringing Tyam like
Yeah.
always. Tyam's the deck
I
I've
don't
got.
know what that deck does. Who is it?
Oh boy. Well, we don't have time for that today. I know we just
You got
started.
15
we still
hours.
don't have time. Look, long story short, I am a Abzan deck. I manipulate counters on my creatures, use my graveyard to create loops where I can kill the board. That's it. That's my game plan. The way I get those counters, that mana, and those loops is like rolling dice every time. Exactly. You ever watch Roll for Sandwich? It's like that, but I'm rolling to see, like, what's my counter producer today? Orcish Bowmasters. What's my source of mana? It's Ashnod's Altar. And it's just like, it's rolling every time to see what the pieces are that I'm going to use that particular game. It's a lot of fun. I really do enjoy it. Like I said, it's the deck that I have the most practice with, the most experience with, the most knowledge with. And I've also really been trying to tighten down my list and really focus in on those turn 3 activations, if at all possible, right? Like turn 1, mana, turn 2, Tyam, turn 3, activate. Like, I need to be able to hit that consistency, because if I'm not hitting that, then by the point where I can actually get Tyam on the board and play, a lot of people have probably already gotten enough resources that I will never be able to compete. So I need to live in this weird middle ground where I can hope that somebody else stops the Rog's Eye player and the Turbo player so that I can get my win in before decks like Kinnan or Sisay can get their win, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun deck. I'm excited to try it. I wanted to see, do you guys have any personal goals going into this? Anything you want to track, keep in mind, or accomplish during this tournament?
I want to be able to keep track of the board state as much as I can throughout the tournament. I am, to toot my own horn a little bit, mostly because other people have told me that. I've been told that I am very good at keeping track of the board state, and cEDH is its own ball of wax, so I want to see how good those skills from Casual Commander I can do in competitive in an actual tournament setting.
Is this your first cEDH tournament?
I think it is.
This will be my first actual, actual paid cEDH tournament where, well, my first big cEDH tournament. There's been some small ones that I've done. Pro Souls will do them occasionally, but they only get like 16 people to show up for theirs. Yeah. And it's more of like an FNM paid
So you
tournament.
always make top 16 there.
Right. Same with store championships, because usually those are. Yeah, exactly. But no, also the downside when they do cEDH tournaments, since they're doing it as a sanctioned event, there's no proxies. Yeah, so that makes some people sad.
Many
and
people.
It does change how the event runs, because you're playing against other people's wallets somewhat.
Yeah, that's hard.
So, that's
but
fair.
You also technically did do that tiny tournament at our charity event we did once. Didn't you?
No, I did not.
Oh, you didn't do that
I was going to, but then I realized that that same day was a family's birthday. So I think it was my dad's birthday.
You took off early, right?
Yeah. I was there for like the first 2 to 3 hours of the event. And then after that, I'm like, all right, peace out, guys. I'll see you later. And I ran off to go to a family thing. I think it was my dad's birthday.
Which is fair.
Yeah, understandable.
Zach, what's your goal
Yep.
going into this tournament?
Goal is to not get over politics.
Good.
There's a few decks that are new to the areas that I haven't played against that I'm hoping I don't have to figure out how to beat, like
Fair
Ragi
enough.
Shies and stuff like that. Like, I
Yeah.
haven't actually been able to play any games against that deck specifically, so going a little dark there. But I don't
Yeah.
know. As long as I feel like I'm doing something in every game, or that I'm at least putting up some kind of win attempt, or feel like I'm participating. Like that's my goal usually.
Sure. So a win attempt in every game.
Typically, yeah, is my attempt of a goal.
That's a good goal.
Usually.
That's a good goal.
But I think a lot of it's like mulligans are the number one thing that you can control, and that's still not very easy to control.
Yeah,
That's
So,
true.
it can
I
be
think
hard.
I think that is a more accurate goal for it, is making sure I actually mulligan right.
Yeah.
yeah. Not being afraid to
'Cause-
go down lower than 6, or being
Yeah.
okay going to 5 and 4.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
because that's drastically different for CDH than it is for casual. You
Yeah.
go down to 4 in casual, you're like, well, I'm probably just kind of boned unless my
Yeah,
commander has card
I'm
advantage.
here.
Yeah.
And sometimes that happens in CH too. Someone will go down to like 3 cards and they're just like, I'm here. I'm participating by playing a land.
I think that's a big goal for me too, is I want to get my mulligans better. I want to be better at keeping hands that are going to go somewhere, not just keeping like casually playable hands. Like, oh, 3 lands and a couple cheap creatures. Yeah, this will do it. But instead looking at my hand, like,
Yeah.
what is my game plan with this hand? I think I've loved the content from Play to Win, their short form content about test hands with like Rogsai, Sisay, Atali, all those things, because it really helped me to kind of look at my own like Tayam opening hands in the realm of like, okay, so this is my opening hand. Does this get me anywhere? And how does it get me there? So, yes, I have
Yep.
some mana and some creatures. Do I have a source of counters? Because if I have like 40 mana by turn 3, but not a single extra counter on my creatures, what's the point? Right? Because now I'm not going anywhere with that mana, which means there's nothing to it and I can't win from there. But if I have a bunch of great counter producers, but no mana, I can't do anything either. So it's a tricky balancing game with Tayam to be able to look at my hand and say, yes, I have mana, yes, I have counters, yes, I can get an activation off early enough. So that's really what I want to focus on. But also, secondary goal, I would like at least 1 win. It'll hopefully be a 5-round tournament. Odds say that I should win one of those games. I would like to win at least 1 game. Winning 2 games is usually enough to get you into a top 16 as long as you can snag some draws. But winning 1 game is my goal.
I like it. I like it.
Cool.
It's a pretty good goal.
Well, we are a advice show here. We answer your Magic the Gathering questions, and we have curated for you a list of questions that we can help answer. You guys want to get to those?
Yeah, let's go for it.
So this first one does come from the r/competitive EDH subreddit from username Barry Substantial 2388. They say cEDH scoop issues. The post says, "Hi everyone, I'm asking a question about an unpleasant discussion that happened yesterday at a local cEDH tournament. Side note, thank you for defining it as a cEDH tournament and not just an open bracket tournament that made people mad. We're learning."
True.
They say, "Keeping it short, I'm at 1 life, I control City of Brass, and I can't block a flying creature. The opponent who is taking the turn controls Derevi and Gaia's Cradle that is tapped. He needs that Derevi to deal damage to be able to untap the Cradle, and he can win the game with a loop. He obviously attacked me. After the attackers were declared, I tapped City of Brass and lost the game. Derevi didn't do damage, so the game continued. I would like to point out that I had no friends at the table for to win or that I had any tensions with this player. I'm not a veteran of the format, and the Derevi player told me that my play was incorrect and that in a serious tournament I would have been warned, accusing me of incorrect behavior and putting him at a disadvantage. Is the Derevi guy right, or have I made some sort of questionable play?"
Interesting.
I don't know competitive CDH rules, but I know other comp rules, and other comp rules, that is a perfectly legal play to make, so I don't know why CDH would be different.
Yeah, no, this is a
I'm
legal
kinda leaning
move.
the same way.
This is a legal move. No tournament rulings are going to give you a warning or ban you or drop you from the tournament because you used a City of Brass to take yourself out of the game to prevent a combat damage trigger. Like, that's not a that's not against the rules of the game. It's different if, like, a couple weeks ago we talked about if you had just, like, conceded, right? If you had no in-game methods to remove yourself from the game, and you just said, I am conceding to prevent you from getting that trigger, that would get you kicked out from a lot of tournaments. But with a piece on board that lets you take yourself out to prevent that trigger, I think you did the right thing. Very substantial. That was a very good move to prevent that Derevi trigger and push for a draw, which in that case is your best hope. Even if you are knocked out of the game, a draw benefits you still. A draw still gives you a point. So it is in your best interest to say, I cannot win this game, and I have in my power an action to take that keeps you from winning the game, thus pushing to a draw, which is my best possible ending right now. So I will take it. That is the quintessential cEDH play, is that. Do whatever you can to receive the best possible outcome. And if the best possible outcome is a draw, you take it.
Because that's your best path forward.
Absolutely.
I agree. I think absolutely this is 100% the play you should have done. One of the main like beginner tips that I have for cEDH players is to always check lands. Like lands often go a little hidden, but there's so many good utility lands or opportunities like this where they have the option of killing themselves with the land. It's up to the Derevi player or the person with the Derevi to see that you have the opportunity to kill yourself before damage happens. And he still made that choice to attack you.
Yeah.
It could easily be a politic tool as well and be like, hey, if you attack me with Derevi, I'm just going to kill myself before you can get the trigger.
Yeah.
I'm going to deal 1 damage to myself. And then maybe that would incentivize them to try to go for a draw or offer a draw. But overall, I think nothing wrong with this play. Absolutely fantastic. I wasn't there, so I don't know the exact scenario of what other people had or the situation of the game. But with the information given, I think this is a perfectly good play.
Yeah. No, I think Zach's right on the money here. This player telling you that you've made an incorrect play is just wrong. What you did was make a play that was bad for them and got them upset. You made the correct call, and I think Zach said a slightly better move that you could have tried, and this is something that, you know, you'll get more used to as you play more cEDH, is saying that, oh, I am your only path to winning right now, but if you try it, I will guarantee that avenue is closed to you. And you'll have to find something else to do. So,
what other options do you have? Or we can do this option, which is not good for either of us.
So what you can do is either mutually assured destruction, or they leave you alone, and that possibly wins you another turn. So that is like the slightly better case scenario I can see in this, where you could try to politic your way out of it, where you can say, hey, you even look at me funny, I'm out. And that will deny you so many resources and throw off your plan. So don't come at me, don't touch my stuff, or you are going to be as much in the hole as I am. And that sort of threatening can build up and can help you get another turn or two to get out of the game. You can even use it to politics, saying like, hey, Derevi, you need me in this game, and this other player is going to do something to my board, or this other player is going to go for a win. Derevi, you need to stop that, because if you don't stop that, I'm out too, and, you know, that doesn't help any of us. So it's a tool you can use, and I think with the experience you have and the tools you had at your disposal, you made an awesome call. You made just the right call here.
And again, you got to look at people's lands. There's so many times where a Cephalid Coliseum can always screw you over when you're trying to Thassa's Oracle line.
Yep. Hey, good on you for catching Woodland. Good on you for catching his Guy's Cradle and knowing that, you know, this player needed that Guy's Cradle untapped to win. Maybe it was pointed out at the table. Maybe you just caught it, you know? Yeah, keep an eye on lands, utility pieces that you may not pay attention to. This is a great move. Very substantial. I'm proud of you.
Step 1. Mana. Step 2. More mana. Step 3. More mana! This isn't 2005. Mana burn isn't here to punish you for your insatiable greed. Step 4. Play Rhystic Study and draw some cards. Step 5. Play something that copies your first Rhystic Study. Because the only thing that fills your gluttonous soul is more. Step 6. Great! Now, with enough cards to make the turbo players scared of you, let's go through the simple win con of making infinite mana. Surprise, you didn't make enough the first time. Giving yourself flash speed, casting Veil of Summer, we wouldn't want people interacting with you. Casting Endurance, targeting yourself, holding priority while also balancing your 98 cards in hand, and your parents' disappointment, destroying your own Endurance, then activate Fairy Mastermind. Repeat this process until you feel better about yourself or your opponents lose, whichever comes first. Step 7. Make more mana, you swine. This has been How to Play Kinnan in cEDH.
All right.
Okay.
Next question.
Yeah.
All right. This question comes from the r/MTG subreddit from username Legitimate Theory 2837. They ask, I have a question with the ethicality of my pod. I don't know if that's the correct word for it, but we'll roll with it because you'll see what we mean here in a second. They say, I am 24 years old, and most of my regular playgroup at the store is 17 to 20 years old, which is fine in a store setting. But the group wants to move to one of the 17-year-olds' houses to play on our regular day now, and I just feel kind of weird and uncomfortable being so much older and going to a high schooler's parents' house to play Magic. I've discussed this with the one guy who I'm pretty close with, and he kind of said it's no big deal because we all know it's just Magic. I was just wondering if you all had experience with this, and how would you navigate this situation? Thank you for your question, Legitimate Theory. This is perfectly the podcast that we are able to answer.
I feel
This is
called
a
out.
Legitimate Theory.
Yeah, so Nate, you want to...
I feel like this one is directed directly at me.
You want to answer why we picked this question for you to answer?
This one hits a little close to home.
Yeah. So, funnily enough, how we started playing Magic together as a group was Zack and Josh were already playing at Zack's parents' house. And I bumped into them at the local card shop, Bill's. We talked about it, Sports Card Center in Ontario. Bumped into them. I was getting some packs. They're getting some packs. And Zach's brother was like, hey, we're going to play Magic at my house. You want to join us? So I was like, sure. Why not? And I went over. I didn't even get really a second thought. And I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, I'll go over. And then after going over a couple times, I started realizing, oh, hey, these guys are all still in high school, and I've been graduated for like at least 2 years now. So
Yeah.
I think it's been more than that.
Yeah, so for reference, Zack is 1 year older
Yeah, it's
than
been more than
I
that.
am. So he graduated just ahead of me. And Nate graduated...
I don't think you give me the respect I deserve being your elder. I'm just gonna say it now.
Yeah, okay.
I don't
Zach,
think you do.
Zack,
How do
okay.
you think I feel?
I'm in a dungeon most of the time, and
It's
as
true.
your elder, I don't know if that's fair.
Both of you go schedule
at
your
least I'm not in the dungeon.
colonoscopy, okay?
At least I am not in the dungeon. That
True.
is fair.
That is
Yeah,
true,
but no, so Zack and I in high school, a year apart. He's like a sophomore at this point. I'm a freshman, or like maybe even like middle school. I'm like 8th grade. What's the cutoff for our middle school where we were at, and he was a freshman. But yeah, we've been playing at his house a whole bunch. Nate shows up one day and he's like, hey guys, I play Magic too. And all of us, without even hesitating, we're just like, cool.
Yep.
And
yeah.
I think Zach's parents already like knew you. So
Yeah, adjacently, because I'm actually...
You were friends
in
with-
high school. I was pretty good friends with Zach's older sister.
Older sister.
yeah, so
Yeah,
they had already
'cause
kind of
she's
known
my
about
age.
you. And so they were like, cool,
I
that's
think
fine.
No, at that point, yeah, because I'd been out of high school for a few years. But I went on a date with Zach's older sister in high school, so
Yeah.
we'd gone out to a restaurant with them.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, so I think from our perspective, from my perspective as one of the younger ones,
As the child.
not it wasn't my house,
As
not
the
my
baby.
parents. It's the baby of the group. It was fine to me. Like I knew he was older than us, but at the time, I just didn't think I didn't care. You know, the only part
Fair,
that
our
bugged
brains
me
weren't developed.
about him being older is that he had more disposable income and had cooler cards, and I didn't
Yeah,
have
that's
that
not
many
fair.
cool cards. That sucked. which is why
But
I
then
It
we
was also
traded
nice
a
because
lot.
then we could get
Yeah,
good cards.
that's why I took advantage of it for sure and gave him my Alliance's Force of Will for a pile of cards for a Grim Grin commander deck that I don't even know what happened to at this point.
Yep.
Anyway, no, from my perspective, it was fine. I was comfortable. Nate never made me uncomfortable, but that's just kind of the guy he is. He's got teddy bear
Yeah,
vibes.
I try.
It was fine. We all had a good time. We all enjoyed playing together. And even when it wasn't specifically Magic that we were playing, like sometimes we played Halo, sometimes we played other games. It was always fun.
Yeah.
It's always a good time. And he never, did anything weird. He never made it weird by talking about, adult
Weird
things
things.
or, showing up with alcohol or anything. That was just never what he did, right? Also,
Right.
Zach's parents would not have stood for that.
He just brought a different kind of addiction, and
Oh, yes.
let me tell you,
The card.
those packs, they
A little bit worse.
That
A little bit
cardboard
worse.
they got a grip.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
You escaped for a while, Zach, but then you came back.
Yep. It dug its claws back in me.
there's no escaping this. Zach, what's your point of view as the person whose home it was always hosted in? Like, this was your house, your parents were there. How did you feel you and your parents kind of handled somebody who was much older than us?
Well, first of all, the commute was just terrible. It was
Oh,
there was
shut
so much traffic.
up,
it was
dude.
difficult to
You
really
walked
find a parking
3 steps
spot.
out the room.
It was very hard.
It could
real
be hard to
struggle.
find a parking spot on the rare occasion they were using the lodge next door.
Oh, yeah, that's true. If they used the
it
lodge,
was
there
a little
was no place
bit
to park.
difficult for me personally. But
Yep.
other than the commute.
As kind of going back to the topic, and Josh, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but I wanted to focus on a little bit more being on the advice side of things. The key part is if you are the older person in this situation, especially with minors, making sure that you are keeping it in a very specific window of we're playing Magic the Gathering, and I'm not putting myself in situations that could even look remotely dicey.
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure you're safe and then everybody you're playing with is safe. The fact that you're answering this question means your heart's in the right spot. So
Yeah,
good
absolutely.
on you.
100%.
But also like just that, hey, if I'm at this house with these minors, I am either like here at the table, I'm outside by my car, or maybe I'm going to use the bathroom. I'm not in private rooms with people,
Yeah.
doing stuff. It's just keeping yourself safe is basically as important as being the good person for being around.
Yeah. I will say ultimately it comes down to are they comfortable with it? Are the parents okay with it? And if you feel the need to, I don't think any parent in the world would be offended if you came to them and said, "Hey, I know I play a lot of Magic the Gathering with your kids, or just your kid, your son, your daughter, whoever it is. Are you comfortable me coming here to play with them here in like the kitchen table or a folding table we set up in the living room, whatever, right? Is this okay? Are you comfortable with this?" Don't ask the friend, ask their parents, ask the hosts of the house, and be like, "Are you comfortable with this?" Because if you're uncomfortable with this situation, with this setup, I can go. And above that, more important than that, if you are uncomfortable with it for any reason, and you don't feel the need to make any of this work, and you would rather just stay in a public space, do not feel guilty for that. Do not. Just do what makes you feel comfortable. Don't go where you're uncomfortable. I know it sounds hard, the prospect of losing a playgroup, losing a consistent playgroup. It is hard. I've lost 2 major playgroups. It is months and months and sometimes years before I feel like I get a good playgroup together again, and people who I trust and enjoy being around, who I know, who to politic with and who not to, and who proxies stuff and who has a tendency to not count their lands right, it takes a while to get to that good playgroup, but you can find that again. And if these kids, minors, are so set on playing in a private home that you're not comfortable going to, you don't have to go. You don't.
And if they are your friends, they'll try and work around it.
Yeah.
They'll either be like, hey man, you can meet my parents, this is the setup, this is where we're gonna be playing.
Yeah.
They can be like, all right, man, you're uncomfortable, that's cool, we'll stick to going to the shop.
Yeah.
Or, we'll go to the shop every other time. If they're your friends, they'll help work it out.
Yeah. There could be a number of compromises and rules that you could set forward to make yourself feel comfortable. Like, one of the parents needs to be home. Maybe they don't need to be present in the room that you're playing, but they need to be home. Maybe you need to be playing in a public area, such as a living room, the kitchen table, or a garage with a folding table and the garage door open in nice weather, right? You're just figuring out ways to make yourself comfortable with it, while also making sure that the hosts and the parents are also comfortable with this situation as well.
Communication
is key. Turns out it's a good life lesson for everybody. A little bit of a Manabonded special advice tip. Communication is key.
Always. And forever.
I want to reiterate that, like, the fact that you're even asking this question is already
it's such a good
show
sign
of your character.
Yeah,
already. Like, you're already concerned about it. So that already shows the kind of person you are is a good person, and you don't want to make it weird or have it be weird. And so, yeah.
By willing to even bring up the fact that this could be construed poorly already makes me feel a little bit more trusting of you, saying that this is somebody who thinks through their actions and thinks about potential consequences and wants to make sure what they are doing makes everyone happy and comfortable. And that is a huge sign. That's such a good thing.
Because someone with ill intentions will not do that at all. And they will try to be sketchy. They'll try to be sneaky. And
because
I think a fact that you're trying to communicate with the parents of the child is definitely a good idea, of letting them know, like, hey, I just like playing Magic with your kiddo and trading cards and making their life a little bit better with Magic the Gathering. So
yeah,
anything I need to do on my end to make things safe and comfortable for everyone involved, already a fantastic thing. So
yeah, good question, man. Legitimate Theory 2837, you're a good Magic player. And
ethics are hard.
Ethics are
what would Immanuel Kant think about Magic the Gathering ethics?
Nothing good.
Ethics are so hard.
Do you often start deck building by adding Phyrexian Altar to your list? Do you get excited by the term free sack outlet? Are you tired of playing 4-player solitaire? Then we're here to help. At Tolarian Combo Player Rehab Center, we work with you. We know the effect that combo can have on playgroups. We know how fast it can go from, wow, this is so cool, I can't believe you won, I've never seen that combo before, to, oh geez man, don't play that deck, I want to actually play the game. Using our proprietary system, we help you discover the magic of other deck archetypes. We've saved hundreds of pods from death by combo player derangement, and we can help you too. I was a combo player.
I was a combo player.
I was a combo player.
But not anymore.
This ad was sponsored by the United States Timmy Player Coalition Against Johnny Combo.
Our last question of the night is also from the competitive EDH subreddit, and this is a long one. Alright, this is a discussion piece that was posted by username, and I am reading this right, Boodle Snoodle.
Okay, that's
a good dog name.
Username.
That's a great username. Boodle Snoodle is, of course, the name for a poodle.
Yep.
Boodle Snoodle the Snickerdoodle.
Yes.
That's true. A doodle would be even better.
Yep. Boodle Snoodle the poodle eating a snickerdoodle.
Oh my god. Say that 5 times fast.
In London saying toodles. Anyway.
The chili in chili is chili.
What's the sentence that's all the word buffalo? It's just buffalo, 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 buffalo,
yeah,
buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yeah. Anyway.
Buffalo stampede.
So, Boodle Snoodle has a discussion that they want to have. And here is the point that they're making. And maybe it's a hot take. Maybe you think the little lukewarm. But here we go. In cEDH tournaments, points for draws are necessary and a good thing. This is a long post. I'm going to read it all. I'm sorry, but this needs to be said, and we'll go back through and we'll hit some points that they say. So,
If you don't like the sound of Josh's voice, why have you been listening?
if you
and then
don't
also,
like the sound of my voice, you are
How
on the
did you make
wrong
it to 28?
podcast. You are in the wrong place, my guy. I'm so sorry.
either
But
way,
also-
get ready to hear a lot of it right now.
but also join the club because like it's weird hearing my own voice. Anyway,
For real.
And also join the Patreon for his intimate ASMR video or ASMR sounding
not
reading
happening.
of
Not
50
happening.
Shades of Grey.
Absolutely not happening. Holy cow. Anyway, they say, recently I've noticed this Reddit has been a breeding ground of anti-draw dialogue. I am all about discussion, but as a longtime tournament player, I believe that a lot of the problems people have with draws come from either misconceptions of tournament EDH or a general predisposed dislike of tournament EDH. I will list some points here to try and share how me and many other tournament players feel about the, quote, draw problem. I will preface this by saying that it's my belief that this is a competitive format, therefore playing and winning in tournaments is a huge part of it for me. Some people are under a different opinion, but that's a different discussion. Point number 1. Draws help prevent king-making and the seat order disparity. Let's say seat number 1 is Rogsai, and so is seat 2. Seat 3 is Atali, and you are in seat 4. Both of the Rogsai players kept a hand that sets up for a turn 2 win. You have interaction for one of the players. Now, in a world without draws, you would just give it to seat 1. Countering the win would be seen as king-making seat 2. With draws allowed, however, you will have an opportunity to end the game with everybody getting a point. There are absolutely better examples in this, but this one just uses less words and helps me explain my point. You could technically have this whole table-wide discussion about promising not to go for it and yada yada, but I think we can all agree that less yapping in our format is a good thing. Point number 2. Draws help control the luck aspect of our format. This is not a, quote, best of 3 format like 1v1. It wouldn't be possible. Because of that, if you mulligan low because of bad luck, you can very easily just be out of the game. Having the power to propose a draw, especially for seat 4, can be a decent balancing tool. Point number 3. You should all play with draws at your casual pods. I think this is the biggest thing for a lot of people. In the same way casual players hate cEDH because they never play it, cEDH players hate draws because they never play with them. When you play casually with your friends and someone just jams turn 2 with no thought in the world, it doesn't matter if you technically have a way to stop it because you're just going to shuffle up and play again. So I totally get it when their whole world gets shifted when they sit at that tournament pod and suddenly everyone's talking about draw propositions to your win on the stack. It's not a spite pact of negation. I'm proposing a draw. I encourage everyone to play with draws in minds at your casual pods. We've been doing it for around a year at our local shops, and it's made the games far more fair and fun. It can be a little jarring at first, but once it becomes a part of your format, you learn to love it. Point number 4, the last point, there is a cultural problem with draws. Obviously, like all things in this format, there are issues. I am not denying any of the problems people have, but the good for me is outweighing the bad. One major problem I've seen recently is that playing for draws is still somewhat new to cEDH culture. This has led many amateur tournament players to get very trigger happy. Draws can be powerful, but not as powerful as a lot of new tournament EDH players seem to think. As more people play in tournaments, I think this problem will begin to fix itself. This mostly comes from ignorance, and I think this issue is solved by my previous point. Playing more with draws in mind will teach when, and when not, to commit to one. They finally say, I would love to have more of a discussion in the comments as well. I don't expect everyone to agree with me, but I am hoping to change some minds. If I think of any other points, I will add them to this post. Thanks for reading. Okay, Boodle Snoodle, you have brought up a lot of points, so let's break it down. Overall, you say that draws in a tournament EDH format are good and have many benefits. Let's go part by part here. How do you guys feel about the first point they've made? And do you feel like draws help prevent king-making and prevent the turn order imbalancing?
This is tough. Because yes, I think it does. I think he brings up a good point of it is kind of a balancing act to turn 1, seat 1 turbo decks.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, Pact of Negation is notorious for this because turn 1, turn 2, how are you going to pay 5 mana to do it? But it's either that or lose the game. The only option you have is to really offer a draw.
Yeah,
Um,
it's tough.
And so I think it is a good way of kind of balancing the first like turbo players to make it a little bit tougher for them to think. I mean, it's always good to put a win attempt on the stack, even if it goes and turns into a draw.
Yeah,
You got to make them have it. That's the number one thing. If they don't have it, they don't have it. You win. If they do, then you still win by getting a draw. So
yeah. What do you think, Nate?
My thoughts on it are probably a little bit more of I've never done the cEDH tournaments, so I guess I just not from a place of not really understanding how the point system really works. Aside from the fact that it's 1 point and then 5 for win, right?
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah. So in common tournament cEDH formatting, they will use a system where every win is 5 points, every draw is 1 point, and every tie or every loss is nothing. The reason that ties can be powerful is that a lot of times the cut to top 16 can be as low as 11 points. If a player has 11 points, that can put them in the top 16. To get 11 points, you need at least 2 wins, and a draw can put you in. So if you can win 2 of your games, and you've got 3 to go, you can spend your next 3 games pushing for draws and trying to get that 1 extra point in. And draws are so much easier to get to than a win is. Because with a draw, you often will have one other player who might be in a bad position who will help you push for a draw, instead of them and you going for separate win attempts. So draws can really help get those last few points in to help you get to your top 16.
Okay. As somebody with no real experience with it, I don't think this question I'm going to be able to add a whole lot to. I do see how for a competitive
feel?
Oh, we're going to go therapy ways. Oh boy. Oh no. I think
what does
for
this blot look like to you?
Oh, 2
That
dead elves.
looks like a Kinnan.
2 dead elves. Well, I can tell you don't like Kinnan.
Yeah, it is. It's a thing where it makes sense for a tournament structure wise. We talked about it a little bit before, but I think that how it is structured, it does lead a little bit more towards the turbo gameplay and the Ristic heavy gameplay, or Ristic heavy meta that we are in right now. Because with the Ristic heavy meta and the turbo decks, they're like, I think there is a little bit of that mentality of, well, if I don't win, I can still push for a draw.
Yeah.
And so you might have people that, well, if they held out for a little bit longer, they could get the win, but they settle for a draw because they're like, hey, I got a draw and that's a guaranteed point.
Yeah. Do you feel like draws are a way to help the turn order disparity? Because that's a real thing. For those of you who don't know, in cEDH, the seat order matters a ton. And because it's random, sometimes it just feels like bad luck. There is there is statistic math.
Commander.
Well, yeah, but I think this is what they found, is that in
General
cEDH...
Commander is actually a little weird.
In cEDH,
but we can do that after Josh explains this.
The turn that you start in, whether it be, your seat 1, 2, or 3, or 4, has actual, statistically backed difference in your win rate. Seat 1 has, a 40% chance to win, whereas seat 4 might have as low as a 12 to 15% chance to win sometimes. It is a huge disparity to be in that back seat. So being able to have that draw as an option for seat 4 and say, I can't get all 5 points, or me getting all 5 points is so much harder. I can push for a draw and still get something out of this game and hope my next game I don't go last. To your point that the seat order still matters a little bit in casual play, it does to an extent. There is some...
Not nearly.
Yeah, there is some anecdotal math and statistics that show that in the first 5-ish turns of the game, seat order matters a ton, but the longer the game goes on, the more those numbers shift and become less relevant. So, in an 8-turn game, the seat you are in doesn't matter as much. It evens out to that 25% plus or minus a certain amount that you would come to expect from a balanced game. But the lower the turn count, the higher chance you have of your seed order mattering, right? Because, I mean, think about it. If you win on turn 1, the percentage that any other player was going to win is now 0 because they didn't get a turn. Or maybe one person got a turn, so it was 25% them, 75% you. It's very imbalanced on that first turn. That second turn, it's about the same. If you can win on turn 1 of your second turn, if you're early in the seed order, everyone else only had one turn, and you're on your second, you are twice as far into the game as them, have that many more resources, and in cEDH, that resource gap makes a big difference. So I think I'm with Boodle Snoodle on this first point. Draws, I think, are a good method of preventing kingmaking by saying, instead of choosing who I will let win, I will propose a draw so that we all get something out of it. And I think it's a good way to say, you know what, player 4, if you're not doing well, maybe somebody else isn't either, and you two can push for a draw.
And then I guess another thing I'd like to clarify on with the draw, that is a unanimous decision, right?
Yes.
The whole table has to agree.
It can't be
Okay.
3-on-1.
All players have to agree. Yeah.
Yeah, all
Like
four.
one player, if like there's some moments where like a win-noted deck or a stacks deck will be there, and realistically, if the game keeps going, they will win it, and so like they can buckle down and just say no, we're not doing draws. Like he played out.
Yeah.
But if it's in a moment where nothing happens, that player wins, and the win-noted player doesn't even get a turn, then it is in their best interest usually to decide on a draw. But
yeah,
there are moments where maybe it's not a good idea.
I think this ties into the second point they make. I agree. Luck is controlled through these draws because it's adding something you can control does reduce luck.
Agreed. Because mulligans are like your number one entry point of control.
Yeah.
And sometimes your deck just doesn't give you playable things.
Yeah.
And having the option of especially being in like 4th seat, you can just be like, hey guys, I went to 3 and I'm in 4th seat. I'm playing for a draw. That's all I can do right now.
Yeah.
Like obviously it's subject to change depending on what you draw from your deck on your turn. But realistically, that's kind of your number one game plan in that moment is I'm going for a draw. That's what I'm hoping for. So
yeah, all games, no matter what you play, has variance in it. And almost every game, your goal is to reduce the variance to a point where you can control it and ride it to get an edge. Allowing draws is another knob by which you can reduce variance on the low luck players. So I think we're in agreement with points 1 and 2 here. I know this is long, but point 3 and 4, how are we feeling about that, Zach? How do you feel about playing with draws at casual pods? And I believe they say, for the sake of this, I think we're going to say that he's saying in your casual cEDH games, not in like, your like Raga Draga versus Atraxa Praetor's Voice versus Balin the Haymaker versus Joda, bracket free stuff. Yeah. I don't think they're talking about that. I think they're talking about casual cEDH games with your friends. You should still play with draws. How do you feel?
An actual tournament, no actual stakes. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think you should do both. Genuinely, if you're training for a tournament setting, like we have a tournament coming up, in my practice games, I would want to play as if it was a tournament setting. But I think it's good to play where draws can't happen because there are some tournaments that don't have points for draws. So there's some moments where
Phoenix Fire's Commander Night.
Yeah.
You get a pack if you win, you get nothing if you draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also like making sure people actually are winning in that moment where it's not an assumed win. It's good to know at what point is it genuinely you're not going to win anymore versus maybe they thought they were going to win and they didn't or weren't able to at the end of the day. So you would have probably pushed for a draw if you were in a tournament setting at that moment, but it's good to know for yourself and for practicing of just knowing what decks are trying to go for draws and what moments of I think when you're playing without draws, think of moments where you could offer a draw if you're trying to practice for tournament settings as well.
Yeah.
Like noticing spots in those moments of like, I could offer a draw here and see if that would be an option. But because it's casual, I'm not going to.
I think I see both sides to this argument because I think there is information to be learned either way you play. Because I think
Yep.
in a casual cEDH setting with your friends, I would prefer to always try to push for a win because I want to know what the limits of my deck are and what I need to learn about my deck and what it can do in certain scenarios. I need to know if I'm in this situation, is this a position that I can win from? Or is this not a position I can win from? I should back off, try to time my win for another turn, or is this somewhere where I play for a draw? So I think I can go either way on this. I think both is a good way to play.
I think adding in a discussion of going, okay, at the start of the game, be like, hey, we're going to try and play for wins and to like finish the game, but we'll have discussions along the way of saying, hey, we could say, let's have actual discussions. If this was a tournament, when would we offer draws and like talk about it while you're playing with people?
No, that's a really good
that's
point.
a really good idea.
I think this works really well with a consistent group of cEDH players. You can get together with some friends who are practicing for a tournament like this. You can get together and say, hey, the goal today is wins. Push where you can, figure out your limits, know where you can and can't win. But let's also pay attention to positions where we might offer a draw. And then maybe you say, okay, let's draw here. Let's make the decision that if this was a tournament, we will draw here. But let's keep playing. And let's see what could have happened so that we know, was that draw a good idea or was pushing there the better idea? It's all about that practice, trying to understand your deck and the format that we play.
I think like not having draws is a really good way to practice learning windows of like moments you can push.
Yes.
So I think getting experience on both sides is absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely
That's all I
necessary.
I agree. I do think for the casual side of things, playing with draws is probably a good idea too, because I think all of us have had games where we go, next game?
Yep.
And we're just like, yeah, we're good. Because we've all played casual games where it is the sixth board wipe, we're an hour and a half in, and nothing's going on.
Yes. Okay.
Almost every single one of those games, I would rather go, can we just call it a draw and move on to the next
just reset
one?
real quick.
I think that's a fair...
Nobody's getting anywhere.
See, I thought we were talking about pushing for a draw in a same situation where you would push for a cEDH draw, where like one player is winning and you can stop them, but instead you're like, hey, I can just, we can push for a draw here. And that makes no sense in a casual scenario.
Yeah.
But I totally agree. If somebody built board wipes deck, the other guy is playing Vren the Relentless with too much removal and not enough rats.
And Gary makes his tummy hurt.
Yeah, exactly. If that's how we're playing, then yeah, I can totally see that like by hour 2 and turn 15, I'd rather just call it and say, clearly this was not a good game. Things went wrong here. Let's shuffle up and try again. Nobody wins this one.
Right. Or even if it's like, you got it, buddy. The guy who's playing board wipe deck, he's not actually getting anywhere.
Yeah.
Because, whatever he has to get around, it's not working, but he's just keeping the board clear. It's like, good job, buddy. You got it.
You did what you
wanted. Nice game. Let's go on to the next one.
Let me see your deck.
Give him his gold star.
Yeah, give him the gold star, take his deck, take a look at it, rifle through it, give him some suggestions, and then throw it in the fire.
Well, I was going to say pull out the kitchen knife and cut his deck a different way.
That could work too. The last point that Boodle Snoodle makes is that there is a cultural problem with draws, stating that draws are kind of a newer idea coming to a lot of cEDH players who don't touch tournament cEDH. And I kind of understand that. I think the cultural problem stems a lot from people see draws as losing. And that can feel hard to willingly say, I will give up this game. And that's kind of how they feel it is, right? Is saying, I am agreeing to quit with everyone. And that feels hard. So I would say try to rephrase that or reframe that in your own head. It's not quitting so much as it's saying, we have all proven ourselves together. We have all proven that we are a good match for each other and that our decks played well enough together to create this perfect stalemate. Let's acknowledge that and walk away with a point.
I think it's interesting as well because in Europe, at least from what I've known and heard about their cEDH scene. They actually have it so if you have a draw pretty early and you have enough time in the round still, you could just do another game if everybody wants to agree to that. So you just completely
Interesting.
restart the game and try to do another game within that so that you can have a winner. And I wonder if that's something we should bring here in the States or try to do in our tournaments more.
That's interesting.
Of like,
You would
hey,
have to
like,
have
somebody Rogside went for a win attempt turn 1. Here's a pack negation. Reset, reshuffle, do it again. Like,
yeah.
But can you do it once, or is it?
That's
I mean, it's
interesting.
just as many time as long as you have time in the round to have a game go through, and all players agree. But like, if you're player 2 or 3 or whatever who's not in that current counter war or having the power to do anything, it's in your best interest. Like maybe in the new game now you have a perfect hand that wins the game. So like now you have a better chance of winning that game when in reality you had no way of winning before, but now you do.
Makes sense.
So I don't know. Could be an interesting thing to try.
It would have to depend for me on the length of the turns, or not the length of the turns, the length of the rounds. Because if the rounds are like, I've seen some go as low as 60-minute rounds, and to me that feels so short, because you can have a game start fast but quickly come to this tangled mess of mid-range hell and be locked there until minute 45 when people say, let's draw. And then you've got 15 minutes and you could try to play another game. But yeah, it would depend on the round length for me. But I could see that being a potential answer.
Then yeah, you also have that thought process of in an early game where you might just be sitting there mulling over, do we go for a draw here? Do I push for a draw? Do I do that? Or do I just let them try to do it? But now you can be like, well, I don't have to worry about that. I can just be like, I can offer it, just reset. Like, are you guys okay just doing a new game? And that instead of trying to fight over should we draw here or have that discussion, it's just like what if we just reset? Everyone okay with that? Let's do it. Everyone's cool.
Keep the turn order. Keep the decks. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
interesting.
I feel like a lot of these would be fun to test out, and it's kind of a thing where you have to be like, can we get enough cEDH players together to do a tournament that probably doesn't have the same kind of stakes that a lot of big cEDH tournaments have, and just doing like, hey, we're doing, I don't know,
just playing around
$100. We're doing $100 night where everybody pitches in $5 and the winner walks away with $100 or over how much we can get. So doing it a little bit more like that, where it's a smaller prize pool, but it helps. Like, we're doing this because we want to test things out. We want to try figuring out some other options for how we can potentially run things in the future.
I would love to test that out. I would love to see how that plays out. All right. Well, Boodle Snoodle, you put a lot of good points out. And I think that this is something that definitely deserves more discussion from the community. So if you guys listening have any thoughts, let us know in comments on, again, whatever podcast platform is your preference. Let us know in the comments what you think. Do you think that draws help the format? Do you think that there are things that draws fix? Or do you think that draws aren't worth it because of the problems they can create? So let us know what you think, because this is something that I'm genuinely interested in hearing, because there's a lot of talk about what can be done to make tournament cEDH feel better. And I think this is a discussion point that we can have to try to help that out.
Yeah,
very much agree. It's one of those things that comes from having a 4-player format, and it gets messy. And this is one of those messy things of draws happening, and how do we solve that? How do we solve the turn seed order? And it's one of those inherent issues with the format, but it doesn't, at least for me personally, I still have a blast playing it. Just because it has some downfalls doesn't mean it's a bad format or it's unfun.
Yeah,
it's just a different way to play, and it's okay if that's not the way you enjoy playing.
Totally fine.
Because as a guy who plays mostly 1v1 at the tournament level, it is interesting learning more about the ins and outs of a 4-person tournament kind of setup.
Yeah, it gets a little messy sometimes.
Yeah,
because in 1v1, your only goal is to beat the person across from you, right? Like,
this person sitting across from me right now, I gotta win.
There's no politicking. There's no, hey, don't kill my guy or I'll counter it. Why wouldn't you just counter it? Because I'm not going to kill my own guy.
Right. On the funny side, though, there is a little bit of politicking for when things get a little bit further on at big tournaments. But those are also easy politics where you're sitting across from the table. Both of you guys are, 4-0, and you're going into round 5. It's the last one of today. So both of you guys are going to be for sure in day 2. But you're like, well, a draw now will not really hurt us as much for day 2, and it guarantees we're going to be in there over a person that might have gone 4-0.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
those are a
Plus, you
lot
get a
more
little bit
of
of time for food.
yeah.
So
right. You can go get some more sleep. You can go get some stuff. There's some politicking and that kind of stuff, but usually it's a lot more of like, hey man, this is great for both of us, and then you're like, yeah, and then you go home.
Yeah.
yep.
Or
And then
go
you have
back to your hotel.
the little handshake, like, yep, we're good.
Yep. Report it. Draw. All right, let's get out of here.
All right. We'll move on to the end step now. We're going to have a chat about a couple different things. I think we mentioned this earlier. Salt City 3 is coming up, and we've got a couple friends coming to hang out with us, and I think that's going to be super fun. We've talked about, Nate, you still have that draft night set, right?
I do. We'll need to grab a few more
Nice.
packs. That way we can get all 6 of us in on it. Or 5 of us.
I was going to say 6?
I think 5, yeah.
Who did I
There-
miss?
My split personality is, sometimes.
Yeah. Zach's going to draft two hands at once.
Nice.
Yeah. One for each hand.
It'll be
Nice.
it'll be really funny when Zach gets paired up against himself.
Nice.
Interesting play there. Thank you.
You're a
You're so
fantastic
handsome.
player.
Oh, thank you. Wow, you too.
Yeah.
You wanted to come home with me tonight? I think I do. Yeah.
I think I have to. Yeah, no, it'll be fun. I'm excited, mostly because I miss Garrett and Nate, and I'd love to see him again. We had fun about a month and a half ago, right? Or 2 months ago when I came up.
3 months ago now about that, because it was Turtles pre-release time.
Oh, shoot, it was, yeah.
So it's actually might be a little longer than that, because it's about 3 months ago, because we're a couple weeks out from Strixhaven, and it was like the weekend of the pre-release for Turtles.
Right, yeah. Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun coming over and playing with you and Garrett and Thomas. It was a good time. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see them again. Excited. We'll probably practice the night before, get in a couple practice games. Have
That's what I
one
was
person.
assuming.
We could do like a 4-person game, and then one person kind of stands as like everybody's ally who kind of doesn't look at hands but can kind of make suggestions like, would it be better to do X here or Y here? Is this a position where we push for a draw instead? That sort of thing.
Right.
That could be a good idea.
Well, also the 5th person could be a person that's like, let me look at your hand real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. Like if they're not actually doing input into the game and they're doing it from a non-biased perspective, they could be like, okay, with your information you have now would probably be a good time to go push for a draw.
Yeah.
The power instilled in me. I am He-Man, the master of the universe.
Hey, side note, I will go see that movie if y'all want to.
I don't know if it looks that good.
Oh, it doesn't.
It's
It
interesting,
doesn't
but
at all.
But it's He-Man,
But it's
like,
He-Man,
I want to go
man.
because it's He-Man.
Who doesn't want to go see He-Man?
That's my childhood.
I love fun visuals, and from seeing the trailers, I'm like, this movie is gonna have some fun visuals.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, but I think the current plan is go down, leaving here probably mid-morning, early afternoon kind of time,
Yep.
getting down there that night around dinnerish time, and then going to the tournament that day, and then leaving so we can get back so people can get to work on Monday. So hopefully not super late Sunday night, because
The tournament.
well,
the tournament should finish on Saturday. There's no day 2 to this.
Yeah,
So-
right. Yeah.
But what we're saying is like we will want to leave probably, afternoon, early evening at the latest, so that way we can get back on Sunday if we wanted to hang out and do a little bit of stuff in the morning on Saturday morning. Is
On
what
Sunday
basically
morning.
was
Sunday,
getting
for
or
sure.
Sunday morning. Yeah.
I would love to have you guys hanging out on Sunday, and we could like play games, crap like that. I'm totally down.
But yeah.
It sounds like a good time.
It's a thing where it's like I wanted to make sure, because while I can afford to take the day off and I can use PTO just fine, I don't know about other people's situations, and I want to be, like, hey, I don't want to be like, we're gonna make you take an extra day off
Take Monday and
Yeah,
Tuesday
we'll
off
take it
because we're partying all weekend in Salt Lake, baby.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing
Yeah.
that. Those of you who know me know that I am the least party person imaginable.
I'm gonna lick the Salt Lake.
Do it, I dare you.
You can't stop me. You can't stop me.
Hey, Zach, what are the odds?
1 out of 1.
For those of you who have never played that game, don't start. And for
Yeah,
those of you
don't
who
do it.
have, stop.
The odds are not. The odds are with you, but they're still the odds that you have to do it. So
Yeah, not a great idea. All
I'm
right.
lost. So
Oh, do you not know
I'm
this
guessing.
game?
No, is this the gambling game you guys were talking about?
No, it's a little different.
It's kind
so-
of gambling. Let's
Yeah,
be
it is
honest.
gambling. It is. So the way the game works, and Zach, you can correct me because I never played because I have a self.
Because you
I have
were
a
smart.
sense.
Yeah.
I have a sense of self-preservation that existed even in high school. The way the game works is what the first person will say, "Hey, what are the odds you do X thing?" And it could be anything from drinking an entire Denny's syrup container to
That
running
feels
around-
oddly specific.
sorry, somebody in here in this podcast has drank 3 of them.
Hey, whoa! I bleed the fifth.
Whatever. The second person then gives a range of numbers. Generally, some people who play like to have house rules on how high you can make it. But most people
Typically, it's
play
like 1 to 100.
Yeah, 1 to
typically
100
1 to
is the highest you can go.
You have a 1 in 100 chance.
And you can lower it if you feel like it wouldn't be that bad. Like, what are the odds you go run outside in the rain without a coat? Like 1 in 7, right? Then you and the player you're playing with who challenged you count down from 3, go 3, 2, 1, and you name a number within that range. If you name the same number, or if you name a number that is not in that range, you do the thing.
You have to do the thing.
So it's basically like, Zach, what are the odds you're going to drink this syrup container at this breakfast place we're at? Zach says, like 1 in 8.
1 out of 20.
1 out of 20, 1 out of 20, right? And so we go, all right, Zach, ready? 3, 2, 1, 15. And okay. So now he doesn't have to do it. He missed out. But if we had said the same numbers, he would have had to drink
And
the
I would
syrup,
have to
right?
do it.
Okay.
Zach,
Yeah.
Jake, Michael, who else? Austin?
Austin, yeah.
All played this stupid game. All of them.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
Knowing those guys at least a little bit, I'm like, that makes sense.
It's a high school boys game.
Yes.
Yeah, it is indeed.
Absolutely.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
Michael had to eat a fake plant leaf.
Yep.
On pretty high odds, and then Austin had to eat a goat head.
Ooh,
I don't know if that's what they're called in.
Yeah, I don't know if everybody
all
calls
places.
them that,
everything,
but the little plants,
pokies.
Puncture vine.
yeah,
Puncture
the
vine,
angry
I think
little
is the
plants
official
that
name.
you find in desert areas that throw out their little tendrils and create these little pokey-looking seeds that have really nasty spikes on them that we call goat heads. Side note, living in the Midwest for 2 years, you know what my favorite part was? Not a single dang goat head in sight, dude. You can walk barefoot
that
through
would be
anybody's
nice.
grass, and all you got to do is come back and check for ticks.
Stepping on one of those were never a fun time.
Oh no, it's miserable. And it
Yeah,
ruined
no.
your bikes too. Like,
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
Literally.
The amount of bicycle tires we replaced because of goat heads is a nightmare.
Yep.
You swear by the goo at some point.
Yeah.
You do, yeah.
Slime.
Or you
Praise be
get
the
the
goo.
the tires that come with the
The slime
like
built
it's
in.
just all filled
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
The solid
already.
foams if you're really fancy.
Yeah. Good times. Good times.
Good times. All right, well, let's go ahead and close it out then. We're going to move on here to the cleanup step and just let you know that if you were going to Salt City 3 down in Provo on June 6th, let us know. We'd love to see you there. We'd love to get some pictures, meet some people. I want to know, and I want to meet some of our listeners. Analytics show that there's at least 7 of you. Probably closer to like 10. I want to know who's there. I want to meet you guys. I want to see
Get your tie-in signed by
yeah,
Josh.
you can get your tie-in
the
signed by
number
me.
1 tie-in player in his household.
Yep, absolutely. Get your tie-in signed by the tie-in guy. Get your Kinnan signed by Big Win and Kinnan. Get your Najila signed by the other guy. Like we're all gonna be there.
Yeah. So,
And if you play Zelix, congrats. I've never met you.
Congrats, you're number 2.
we can be buddies.
Let's brew.
Although there is a thing that I am going to start doing, and I think this time is just as good as any. I am going to have my basically pre-con. I'm going to have to see if I can find the rest of the cards because I'm looking through it right now. I'm going to have my basically pre-con 10th Doctor deck from the Doctor Who set because I feel like that's a great one to do it. And I want to do my travel deck. So what this is if you see me there, and you guys, if you want to do this while we're hanging out, and you want to trade a card out from the deck, as long as it's not like a key card for the deck, for a different card that does a similar thing, I will have you sign it and date it, and then it will live in the traveling deck until the traveling deck gets retired at some point.
That is a really cool idea. I am so here for that. So yeah, if you're going to be at Salt City 3, go find Nate and trade out a card to put in the traveling deck. It sounds like super fun.
Yeah,
the
10th Doctor wants to be finding people. There is quite a few.
Sweet.
Okay, because I'm like, maybe it'd be a cool idea too to like have anytime you play that deck, have the pod sign like one of the basic lands. So all 4 players just sign one of the basic lands.
That is a pretty good idea too.
Fun. That'd be kind of fun. Then you have like a piece of every game you played with that deck on a land. Yep.
That's sweet.
Until you run out of lands.
If you all listening right now have some questions for us, you can send them over to us at manabonded@gmail.com. We take questions about anything in Magic the Gathering from, what do I do about a weird playgroup dynamic, to I'm looking for just that perfect silver bullet card for my deck, to just talking about hypotheticals.
The ethics of being a good human.
Yeah, just ask us anything, man. We're here for you. We're here to answer your questions. That is our job, is to be an advice show for the Magic the Gathering community. Again, if you have questions for us, you can send them over to us at manabonded@gmail.com or across any of our social media platforms.
Do you hear the people singing? No, you don't, because Steve Brown doesn't have a band. He's just him right now, and he made our song at the beginning, our intro, and our outro. So if you like his music, check out SteveBrownSongs.com.
I do believe he is actually part of a small band that does.
All right, he is indeed a part of the band. So you might hear the people singing.
Yep.
Maybe. Yeah, and if you like art and cool art, like the stuff we have for our podcast and on our socials, you can find the art linked in our description by Shadow Eclopex. He is open for commission, so go ahead and reach out there if you want to get some cool art done by a cool dude.
Yeah. We do have a link tree. It makes it easier for you to find all of our links in a single place. We have a YouTube now. We have a Twitter. We have an Instagram. We have a BlueSky. And we have a TikTok. And we actually have our first TikTok posted there, which I don't know if this is like uplifting or just really a signpost of where we need to start putting our marketing efforts. But our TikTok already has 1,000 views. And our podcast has, let me check again, just over 600. So
I think part of this is the fact that a 1-minute video talking about pre-release is a whole lot easier to get into than a hour and a half on average podcast. So I think we need to start doing our short form content that we started talking about. So if you guys are listening, keep an eye out for our sick ads, our fun intros, and some other fun short form content. We'll hopefully be making a little bit of that when we're at Salt City.
Absolutely.
If you like the advertisements, check out Tristan, who makes them.
Yeah, Tristan is awesome. He's done the fantastic ads for us every week. He's done the ads that you're going to hear in this episode. So he's just a fantastic writer.
Yeah.
So creative.
He is the one that comes up with those ideas basically by himself. And
very little input from us. He basically does it on his own.
He will bounce ideas. He'll get some ideas, like his one of his ideas, I think, for last episode. He was like, I need some help, and I have this idea, and I'm like, oh, cool. Let's throw out an idea where you're like a mattress salesman, but he ended up changing it and making it, I think, even better by doing it into like a Jace memory thing where you want to come in.
Yeah, that one was fantastic.
Yep.
Those memories, legally, those memories were based on us.
Yeah.
So,
those were our memories.
The initial thing was doing it as a kind of sales, mattress sales commercial where you talk about the similar kinds of things, but in a more mattressy sales kind of voice.
But we're going to post more of that online. So leave us a review on the app you're listening to and a couple app platforms you're not using. Like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Give us a follow everywhere else. We take comments across all of our social media channels. It's a great way to let us know that you're listening, that you hear us, and you want to engage with us. Make sure you're following us everywhere to see that new upcoming short form content that will be coming soon. And I think that's everything. You guys got anything else you want to say?
She shells by the seashore.
Close enough.
I did that. Yep.
Remember, ethics are hard.
Ethics are hard.
And with that, we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Do you guys remember
Feels good.
when somebody hit my car in high school while we were there?
I think I do.
It was two of the
That
guys
sounds
that had
familiar.
like come and visited. It was like their truck had like swung and dented the minivan side door. Yeah, that dent
another
stayed for the
confession.
whole time we were there.
I was the one that did. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I know you were. I remember who it was. I don't remember their name, but I remember who it was.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, hey, look, it's the break between the ads where I just say some bullshit, and Josh doesn't tell me whether this is helpful or not, and I just assume that it is. Okay, I'm going to film the next ad.
point number 4, the last point.
Wait. Ding.
What?
Josh, I'm coming. Here, drink some water. Take a breath.
hang
Take a breath.
on,
It's
hang
okay. You're doing great out there. Okay, keep it up. All right.
right.
Just keep
Baja
reading.
Blast, keep me going.
Don't let the lenders. Yep. Don't
All
let the letters switch around. Okay. All right.
All right, here we go.
Ding. Back to it.